Hello, comrades. Rabblecat here, just another pro playing games. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about a really interesting video that I saw on Twitter. It's a video that comes from the House Oversight Committee, I believe. We're going to be taking a look at a Congresswoman by the name of Katie Porter, who represents California's 45th district. And apparently over the past 2 years, the House Oversight Committee has been grilling pharma bros. I don't know much about this. I haven't really followed it that much, but this video is really kind of cool and kind of awesome. And Katie Porter does a good job. I don't know much about her. I don't know if she's just like a typical lib. I don't know if she's a socialist or what. I doubt she's a socialist, but I kind of find it satisfying watching her do this, because what she's going to do is she's just going to do some fucking math. And she's going to math her way into the embarrassment of this Pharma CEO bro, okay? So let's go ahead and not waste any more time, and let's take a look at it, all right? So here it is.
Do you know what this number is? Does it ring any bells?
But I think you're referring to my compensation in some way.
In some way. This was your compensation in 2017 for being CEO of Celgene, and that's a lot of money. It's 200 times the average American's income and 360 times what the average senior gets on Social Security. Now, of that 13 million, about 2.1 million came from your company hitting yearly earning targets. And more than half of the bonus formula was based on those targets. Any increase in the price of Revlimid would also increase your bonus by increasing earnings. Isn't that right, Mr. Ellis?
If revenues increased and expenses did not, then earnings would be enhanced.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis, in fact, the Oversight Committee found that if you hadn't increased the price of Revlimid, you wouldn't have gotten your bonus. Mr. Ellis, do you know how much you personally received in bonuses over 2 years, the last 2 years, just because Celgene raised the price of this one drug, Revlimid?
I receive very generous compensation, but I don't know the exact number that you're referring to.
In fact, you personally received $500,000 personally just by tripling the price of Revlimid. So to recap here, the drug didn't get any better. The cancer patients didn't get any better. You just got better at making money. You just refined your skills at price gouging. And to be clear, the taxpayers spent $3.3 billion on Revlimid.
Okay. All right. So I kind of want to use this as a springboard to talk about other stuff. All right. So what did we just see there? What happened? Well, what you have. Let me make one thing abundantly clear. Whatever's going on with this Pharma CEO bro is ubiquitous throughout all of the capitalist system in its entirety. It's exploitation. So what's going on here? What you have here is someone who makes fucking $13 million a year. And I want you to imagine that for a second, because we talk a lot about billionaires and how much money billionaires have and how like kind of atrocious that is. And it seems like a lot of people tend to agree that the amount of money that billionaires make is like an incredible, unimaginable amount of money. Like if you have $1 billion in net worth, or you make, so much money that like you might as well be making billions of dollars a year, right? That's like incomprehensible to most people. But I want to make an argument that even making millions of dollars is equally as unimaginable for most people. So this guy makes $13 million a year as the CEO of this company, and if I'm not mistaken, about $2 million of that was just bonuses. And Katie Porter did the math and was able to figure out that $500,000, $500,000 of that $2 million bonus can be attributed solely to the tripling of the price of Revlimid, which is a life-saving cancer drug. So, yeah. Obviously, I mean, I hope I don't have to explain why that's like actually fucking disgusting. Ignore my cats, they're fighting. I hope I don't have to explain why that's disgusting. And I really hope that like that it comes across that video kind of does enough to explain why that's gross. That someone someone who's a millionaire has the power to just snap their fingers like Thanos snap or whatever. The price of their commodity just so that they can line their pockets. Now, again, this is ubiquitous across all of this isn't unique to the pharmaceutical industry. What's actually going on here? Let's think for a second. The thing that really gets me when I watched that video was the look on that guy's face. The look of shock, confusion, hesitancy to even be sitting in that seat answering questions. And it made me wonder, to what extent are wealthy people even aware of how disgusting they are? Now let's be clear. This guy participated in the decision to raise the price, and raising the price exclusively. The only purpose of it was to line his pockets. Doesn't matter how many people he hurt in the process. $13 million, I can't... Like, most people make $50,000 a year. Or, not most. Let's say, like, the median average, whatever, income for most Americans. $30,000 to $50,000 a year. That's not even really, like, middle class. That's, like low middle class. You know, I make like about $30,000 a year at my job. And I can barely get by. $50,000 a year would change my fucking life. It would change my life. I can imagine it now. Like, all the things I could do if I were making $50,000 a year, 60, 70. All the things that I could do that I can't do. You know, I'm chained to my job in terms of my personal time because I have to pay bills in this tiny crappy apartment. Right? Just $1 million. Well, let's see. That is 20 times $50,000 a year. So 20 times the normal, everyday, average, median, low, middle class wage. $50,000 a year. 20 times. That's just $1 million. If I'm doing the math right. I think that's right. Can you guys stop, please? Yeah, so that's 20 times. So this CEO makes $13 million a year. I can't even imagine really making $100,000 a year, but even if I were to make that amount of money, like, that would be life-changing for me. You know, I could work less, I could focus on other projects, there's no telling what I could do. I could, like, get a car that isn't a crappy beater car. I could maybe move into a slightly nicer place and then save some money, or who knows, right? The possibilities are endless. Like, right now, I just live paycheck to paycheck and can barely scrape by, and I have to eat ramen as one meal a day. You know? This guy makes $13 million a year. And he has power at his disposal to just, hey, you know what? There's demand for this drug. We could get away with raising the price. Let's raise the price. Yeah, you know, how much more money would I make? You'd make $500,000 a year. Extra. Holy fuck. $500,000, an extra $500,000 a year. Let's do it. And this is where I kind of wonder, because the look of shock and chagrin on that guy's face would kind of maybe indicate that he's somewhat unaware. He's like, well, this, you know, he may be like, well, there's a lot of numbers, you know, like, you know, we're you know, trying to meet costs, and, like, you know, we're doing business, you know, like, he's like, I don't know what numbers you might be talking about. I don't know what numbers you're talking about, but yeah, you know, I got paid generously, you know, but I'm not really sure what you're talking about. As if he doesn't understand that there's a link between his bonus and his decision to triple the price of a life-saving drug. And keep in mind, when those prices are raised, that hurts people. I mean, it could even result in people dying. That decision alone, all because he wants an extra $500,000 a year, and just because he has the power to do it. So at first I was kind of wondering, like, to what extent do these people even know what they're doing? Are they literally just capitalists sitting on the top of a fucking money mountain, just hitting buttons and being like, oh, this makes more money. Oh, this makes more money. Or do they know? Do they know that they're hurting people? And at first I was like, maybe there's something weird about the psychology of billionaires or millionaires in this case, that makes them oblivious. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? There's no way he doesn't know exactly what he's doing. There's no way. Which would mean that this, like, look of confusion, shock, and, like, well, golly gee on this guy's face is all kind of an act. Which makes it all the more disgusting, in my opinion. It's fucking gross, man. So kudos to Katie Porter. I hope we see more of her if she regularly does this kind of thing. I'd love to see more, but again, I don't know enough about her to know if she's really, like, you know, a comrade in the sense that I would prefer. But we need more of this kind of thing. And we need it to be in the public eye as much as possible. Because it's that kind of thing that I think can help to build class consciousness, to make people aware of, like, you know, when people have this amount of wealth, they're stuck in a reality that is separate from working class people. Completely separate. And it's a reality that is, you know, their work is a game of just what buttons can I push to make more money. It's not about them doing hard work and working hard for their that's not it. These people don't work hard. They issue commands, and those commands make them more money. And that's again, it needs to be reiterated, as I've already said multiple times. This is not unique. This one pharma dude is not alone. This is not one like instance of some sort of weird like offshoot corruption. This is how capitalism works. It works off the exploitation of workers and on the people who buy commodities. Completely and 100%. This is the mindset, the mentality of every single capitalist. Anyway, I don't have much more to say about this, but, you know, stay rad. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, subscribe, go to Twitter, follow me, blah, 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 whatever.